What's up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because I am doing my October TBR video, but I'm going to be taking part in Halloweekend, which is hosted by Lexie, and I will link her channel down below. And I'm also doing Spookopoly, which that is hosted by Becca, and I will link her channel down below. So I am just going to be picking the books that I'm going to be reading for Spookopoly-a-thon. And then the Halloweekend, you'll have to check in with my vlogs when they come out and see what books I'm going to be reading for that, because I think I'm just going to go with a mood read for those because I'm not 100% sure what I want to read for those yet. But I'm so excited. Now, for Spookopoly-a-thon, there are some rules. And if you go to Becca's video, which I will link down below, she'll go through all the rules for this readathon and what you all have to do. But so the basic rules are, if you are building a TBR at the beginning of the month, the amount of rules you choose is up to you. So she does 5 plus doubles because 5 is an achievable amount and of books for her to read in a month. So I think I'm going to stick with 5 because if I end up with doubles, then I have to add an extra book on. And then the second rule is you must start on the go space, which that's obvious. I mean, come on, we've all played Monopoly, and we all know we have to start on go. And then it says use 2 6-sided die to move around the board. Also, the biggest one is if you cannot find a book to fulfill a prompt that you land on, then you can choose to roll again, but you have to select 2 books for that next space that you land on. And then if you roll a double, obviously, you add another roll on, so that means that'll add another book. So that's why I'm just going to stick with 5 books for now, and we'll see how I am at the end and go from there, because I might add on a couple more, who knows. So I have my Spookopoly-a-thon board in my reading journal / bullet journal. So I have it right here. And yeah, I'm gonna get this set up and then we can do my first roll. Alright, so for our first roll, we ended on purple for this, and that prompt is, let me grab it. It says, a book with mostly a purple cover. And I had the perfect book for this, and it's the perfect time of year for it. And I'm so excited because it has been so hyped, and lately it hasn't been. So that's why I'm ready to read it, because when a book is super, super hyped, I don't like reading it right away unless it's a book I know is going to be good. And the book that I picked is Notes on an Execution by Dania Kakofka. As you can tell, this is definitely mostly purple on the cover. And what this is about this guy who is on death row, who I believe was a serial killer. He takes a chance and meets with these girls' family, and I believe he is telling his story on why he did things. I'm not 100% sure, but that's how I want it to be when I go in. I don't want to know too much, and I just want to be surprised on reading this, and I am very excited, and I feel like it's October and it's a perfect time of year to read this. Alright, so the next space I landed on was Stabby, and this one says It says the bloodier side of spooky season. True crime thrillers and grim dark fantasy would fit very well for this prompt. This prompt is solely open to your own interpretation. So I chose one that kind of like was a fantasy but had some thriller aspects, and I've heard it kind of is like a thriller read, I believe, and it's actually more of a horror, and that book is Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legrand. This one, I don't know much about it, but it says, Marion, the new girl, awkward and plain, weighed down by tragedy and hungry for love she sure she'll never find. Zoe, the pariah, luckless and lonely, hurting but hiding it, aching with grief and dreaming of vanished girls. Val, the queen bee, gorgeous and privileged, a heart made of secrets and a mouth full of lies, where gleaming horses graze in rolling pastures and cold waves crash against black cliffs, where kids whisper the legend of an insidious monster at parties and around campfires, where girls have been disappearing for decades, stolen away by a ravenous evil no one has dared to fight until now. This one sounds really good. I'm so excited to get to it, and I know it's an older book, but that's okay because I am ready for it. We landed on crows and ravens, and this one is basically has to have a bird on the cover or something from a bird or a word for bird on the cover, and I had the perfect book for this because it has a bird on the cover, and I picked Wayward by Amelia Hart. This one I don't know much about. I just know it's fantasy, and I believe it has something to do with witches, and I heard such good things on BookTube about this book, especially from Hannah on Hannah Recent Reads, and I am ready for it. I think this definitely gives all that spooky season vibes and the color and just the crow. It's gonna be amazing. Alright, so for rule number 4, I landed on poll pick. I don't really like doing poll picks because I don't get enough people to vote on them. So I am actually going to redo this rule and go from there. So rule number 4 was a redo, and I landed on Michael Myers, and this one said, Michael Myers, he just keeps coming back, read a sequel. So I chose for one sequel to read, I will do Raven Song by TJ Klune. This has werewolves in it. I read the first one, and I believe this one is Gordo and Mark's story, and I'm so excited because they were some of my favorite characters from the first book. Gordo was amazing, and here is the naked cover of it. So pretty. And I am just so excited to read the second book to this, and I think I will just add on an extra. I'll just say I'll put 2 books on for rule number 5 because I don't want to read 2 sequels in a row because I don't want to get them confused. And yeah, so let's go with rule number 5 next, and my last one. Rule number 5, I had to choose 2 books for this roll because I was re-rolling for my original roll number 4. So I had to do 2 books of my recently purchased books, and I found 2 of them. And one is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Moore. And I've actually been seeing this around, like on Book Talk, and I've been hearing some good things about it, even on BookTube. But it says, Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general discretion, must excellent benefits. This sounds really cute, and it's actually a really short book. There's only just about 330 pages, and I love the sprayed edges. So yeah, this is one of my recently purchased books for this pick. And the next one was a Book of the Month book that I got for September, and it's by, I believe, a new author, and that is The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. I'm just going to read the little snippet on the back. It says, a gruesome history, a hostile neighborhood, a new owner with a shocking secret. Welcome to Blackwood House. This sounds really good. I'm digging the colors, and like I said, haunted house sounds like, and the time of year, perfect for the season. I'm hoping I love it. And yeah, so, and this one's pretty short also because I do have some chunkier ones to read for the month of October, and that's not even included in last book. So those last books were supposed to be the last books that I picked, but of course I ended up with doubles. So not only did I have to pick 2 for my last roll, I had to find a book with mostly orange on the cover. Do you know how hard that is? Honestly, because a lot of books don't use orange. They use mostly reds, blacks, some purple. Like, they usually use dark colors, so orange isn't really a one for the whole cover. And so me being me, because I'm like, I don't want to have to roll again and pick 2 more books, I picked the chunkiest book, one of the chunkiest books I have that I own that I haven't read yet, and that actually has orange mostly on the cover. Yeah, so lucky me, that book is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I'm not even going to explain what this book is about because it's been around for a while. Yes, I own it. Yes, I own the next book. Have I read them? Obviously not. But I'm looking forward to it because it has dragons in it. Am I excited about reading this chunky book on top of all the other books I have to read? Plus the other readathon I'm doing? No. But are we going to make it the best time ever? Yes. Only because I want to give this an honest review, and I can't really go with the upset feelings of having it pick this book. I mean, I was going to read it eventually. This is just a little kick in the butt to start it. So, and this one, it seems so big, but really it's not. It's only maybe over 800 pages, about 800 pages. So that's not bad, but it's just so big, and it wasn't one of the books I really wanted to read this month. But yeah, so this was my last book pick for Spookopoly-a-thon. It's gonna be a crazy ride, you guys. But yeah, now that you know what books I'm going to be reading for Spookopoly-a-thon, I want to know what you guys are reading. Let me know what you're reading down below in the description, because I want to see other people be tortured like me. But yeah, I will leave everybody's channel that I mentioned earlier down in the description below, and let's all have fun with this readathon and Halloweekend, and do the best we can and just have fun doing it, because that's what reading is about. And as always, keep on reading, people. Bye.